Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Elise and I make sewing content. In this video I'll show you how to make this top, which is named the cloud top. You can get this pattern on my Etsy account and the link is in the description below. This is a digital pattern, so you can download it and print it at home. The cloud top comes with two different views. The first one is a reversible view, so you can wear two different fabrics in one top, as you can see here, and then you can mix and match with the fabrics. The second view is a non-reversible view. When the pattern is downloaded and you will print it, you have to remember to print it in an actual size. If you don't have that option, that is a 100% scale. The two first pages of the pattern contains the general information. For example, here you'll have the test square, which you should measure to make sure you printed the pattern in its actual size. Then on the first page, you'll have the size guide. Measure yourself and then check which size you are. Page 3 to 6 contains the actual pattern, which you will piece together. To piece together the pattern, I like to cut off the excess paper on one side, and then you're going to piece them together so the two half square diamonds become one perfect diamond like this, and then just tape it together or glue it. Do the same thing with the other pages. I actually like to trace out the pattern in my size on some baking paper or some tracing paper. This way I don't have to print out the pattern again if I choose to make it in a different size. Alternatively, the easiest way is to just cut out the pattern in your size. And these are all the pattern pieces cut out. I'm going to quickly show you how to cut out the pattern pieces on fabric, because it needs to be cut on the fold, which means you fold the fabric like this and place the pattern exactly on the fold where it says so on the pattern. Then I just pin it and cut out my pattern pieces. On store-bought fabric, you can easily find the straight grain line. This is the selvage, and this is the cut line where you cut the fabric. The straight grain line runs parallel to the selvage. You don't need other materials than a thread and some fabric for this pattern. It's very easy. For fabric, I recommend something that is non-stretchy, but I originally made this pattern to flip my skinny jeans, so skinny jeans which are slightly stretchy would work, but I wouldn't choose anything stretchier than that. For the non-reversible view, I recommend thicker fabrics, for example denim as shown, or thicker cotton fabrics, which are heavy fabrics. For the reversible view, you can choose light to medium heavy fabrics. Lighter fabrics such as satin will work well, and also lighter cotton fabrics. And the reversible view is perfect if you want to mix and match with the fabrics. Now I'm going to show you how to make the cloud top, and I'll show you how to sew the non-reversible view first. As fabric, I'm using these jeans that I have bleached, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know these are jeans that I stole from my boyfriend. If you're also using jeans, you might find that the pattern is too long, so after the third mark you're going to make a tiny fold in the pattern such as this. This way the pattern will be a bit shorter whilst maintaining its shape. And then I'm just cutting out the fabric. Yes, I'm cutting perpendicular to the straight grain line. It just works with jeans. I've tried it so many times. Then I make all the markings according to the pattern on both sides of the fabric, and I cut out the other piece as well. I have marked both sides of the fabric. This makes it a lot easier. These are all the pattern pieces cut out, 8 long straps and 6 short straps. And now you're going to secure these two edges. I use my overlocker, but you can easily use the zigzag stitch on your normal machine. After securing the edges, these two pattern pieces are going to be sewn together. Lay them right sides together just like this, and then pin all along the edge. Then you're going to sew along the edge here, and you're just going to use a simple straight stitch. We're going to use straight stitch for the remaining of the project. Then you're going to heat up your iron and iron the seams apart. This makes it look a lot nicer, so please don't skip this step. After this, we're going to sew the straps, and we'll start with the long straps. Place 2 of them right sides together and sew a diagonal stitch right here. You're going to take 4 long straps and sew them together like this, and then take another 4 long straps and sew them together, so you'll end up having 2 really long straps. Cut off the excess fabric here, and then we're going to iron it down. Since denim is a pretty thick fabric, I'm going to use the bias tape method to make these straps, but if you use thinner fabric, I recommend checking out the chapter on the reversible top and see how I make the straps there. I'm going to illustrate on a short strap how to make the bias tape method. You fold in the sides and then you fold it again. Then you just iron it down to hold it in place. Again, just to show you, the edges are folded in and then we fold it again. And now you're going to sew a straight stitch along the edge here. I'm doing the bias method on the long straps as well, iron down the sides and then fold the whole thing over and then sew along the edge. I didn't film it, but take the short straps and sew the bottom ends together like this, so it just holds its shape a bit better. Looking at the right side of the top, use the markings we made at the start and place the short and the long straps on the markings and make them face inwards. Then I'm going to sew along the edge here approximately 1 to 1.5 centimeter from the edge, and you sew over these straps. If you're using thick fabric like me, I would recommend sewing 1.5 centimeter or even longer from the edge. When you're sewing along the edge here and sew over the straps, make sure to go a bit of back and forward to make sure that the straps are properly attached. Then we're going to hem the whole top by folding the edge over twice. And you're going to use the seam which we made earlier as a guide, because that should now be the new edge of the top, if that makes sense. That is why I said to sew even 1.5 centimeter from the edge, because as you can see here, the hem that I am making is quite narrow because I only sewed 1 centimeter seam allowance. And that's pretty difficult with such thick fabric. The reason that I'm attaching the straps and then hemming the top and not the other way around, which I have done previously, is because this way these straps are attached in 2 places, which makes it look a lot nicer, and it's attached more securely as well. And when you have hemmed and pinned the whole top, we're going to sew it in place. When you sew, be sure that you catch the hem underneath and do a couple of stitches back and forth when you go over the loops to really keep them in place. When you're finished hemming, the top is complete, and this is how it looks. Now we're going to the reversible top, which you can wear in 2 different ways, and do like me, have 2 different fabrics. With the main bodice pattern piece, you're going to cut out that twice, which I'm doing here in 2 different fabrics. There's no change to the pattern for these straps. Now we're going to secure these edges using either your overlocker or the zigzag stitch on your normal machine. After securing the edges, you're going to sew the pattern pieces together like this, fold them right sides together, pin along the edge. Sew a straight stitch all along the edge here, and also on the other piece of fabric. Iron all of the seams apart. Then we're going to take the short straps, fold them together like this so the right side is on the inside, and sew all along the edge. Then we're going to take these short straps and turn them right side out using a loop turner or a safety pin. When using a safety pin, attach it to one end and then pull it through the strap so it turns right side out. Then you should have 6 of these short straps. Iron them all down so they look nice and crispy. For the long straps, put them right sides together like this and sew a diagonal straight seam. Cut off the excess fabric and sew 4 long straps together like this, so you'll end up having 2 really long straps. And iron all the seams down like this. Fold the strap like this, having the right side of the fabric on the inside of the strap, then sew along the edge. It can be a bit difficult to turn this thing right side out with a safety pin, then I recommend using the bias method instead, as we did for the non-reversible top. Then iron the strap down. Now we're going to attach the straps to the main bodice. Take one of the main bodice pieces, have it facing right side up, and then use the markings to attach the straps. Attach the straps facing inwards, so in towards the top, and then just attach it with some pins. Then we're going to take the other piece of the top and place them right sides together like this. Then we're going to pin along the side and the top side part here. After pinning, you're going to sew the sides. Don't sew the top and bottom part just yet, we're going to do that now. Now you're going to take your long straps, and I bundle them up like this so they don't get in the way. Take them inside of the fabric and place the top of the strap here. You should also have a marking on the top of the pattern where the strap should be. Pin all along the top part and the bottom part. We're going to sew, but we're going to leave this part open. This part you're going to use to turn the whole thing right side out. By the way, before turning the whole thing right side out, remember to cut the corner of the top like this. It's going to look a lot better when you turn it right side out. Iron the top down. Then I make a top stitch all along the top, which means I sew all at the edge here of the top. This will also close the opening at the bottom. And now you're done with your reversible top, which you can wear 2 different ways. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you and that you now can make the cloud top all for yourself. In the future, I'll also show you hacks for this pattern, how you can even make it into a dress. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other questions or any wishes for what I should make next. And if you make the cloud top for yourself, I would love to see a picture of it, so please tag me on Instagram and I will share it to my account as well. Thank you so much for watching.